Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter. Hello, fine folks. This is Freedom Fighter, and welcome to Goldilocks Global Banking News. I am your host. This is where over 100 countries and thousands of subscribers are tuning in every day to receive the facts on the RVGCR by Goldilocks. I just got off the phone with Goldilocks and been reviewing all the information today. It's very, very telling of where we are headed with the quantum financial system, whereby on Thursday there is a meeting, and this meeting is actually with the National Institute of Standards and Technology, which is a part of the quantum financial system, where President Trump, during his first term, signed an executive order that included this particular agency that's actually having this meeting on Thursday, October the 10th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The technology intertwined into the quantum financial system is getting to move for standards to be put into place. Also, what Goldilocks is sharing with us today is some information going into the Federal Register related to currencies, currency transactions, and also related to the banking system and Basel III with currency transactions. Let's jump right into it. Goldilocks is sharing today something related to what's called the net stable funding ratio. What is it? It's the standardized ratio that compares a bank's available funding to its required funding over a 1-year period. Bottom line, what this particular standard is to ensure that banks have enough stable money, stable assets on their books. You should recall on October the 1st, for large banks globally, the Basel III compliance standards went into effect on October the 1st for the Basel III compliance guidelines for all large banks throughout the world. This is in relation to that. This particular standard helps banks to manage risk, liquidity risk, or money risk, cash flow, and reduce their reliance on short-term funding. This is all connected to making sure our banking system, ladies and gentlemen, will be able to sustain any crisis that, for example, happened in 2008, or crisis that may happen related to a pandemic. At large internationally active banks, there's a ratio that they weigh and report where there's a minimum requirement of 100% of ratios. So basically, this is to assure that each bank, specifically large banks, has enough money to sustain a major crash. This particular standard also has to do with gold, because it requires banks to hold enough assets or money to match their gold. We all know that in order for our currency exchange, the GCR, to happen, we must have a gold standard. The Bank of International Settlements, which is responsible for this particular standard, they're telling us that stress test covering all of 2023 for large banks is why we are able to go under a gold standard inside large international banks as of October the 1st, which was last Tuesday. The stress tests that occurred were tests over the course of 2003 that actually prepared the banks on October the 1st of this year, 2024, to be able to have enough money and gold to prepare for a major crisis. So here we have another standard being implemented and moving forward. Just think of security measures on top of security measures on top of additional security measures within the banking system to make sure our money is protected in the banks, and also to assure that the bank's money is protected so there isn't another crisis and a crash that happened before. Next, Goldilocks is sharing from the Office of Foreign Assets and Control under the Department of Treasury is there is another final rule, a final rule that's going into effect on November the 7th. And this is in relation to a country of origin of foreign currency must identify themselves in doing foreign transactions. This is to assure there's no nefarious activities within the banking systems, or the Office of Foreign Asset and Control will actually sanction a foreign bank. For those of you who may understand and know, it was Iraq that was under these same sanctions at one time, OFAC, Office of Foreign and Asset Control, and other countries such as Iran and others. So here we have the check and balance of the system to assure there's no terrorist activity, illegal activities in the new banking system. This also has to do with reporting and record keeping as well, license applications and procedures, compliance as well. The Office of Foreign Assets and Control now requires financial institutions to report transactions that meet specific criteria of OFAC if they believe the transaction may involve the property of a blocked person, such as a terrorist. This final rule goes into effect and will be recorded in the Federal Register on November the 7th, 2024. This is specific, ladies and gentlemen, to foreign currency transactions to make sure, moving forward, those transactions are not by someone of illegal means. Then Goldilocks shares this very, very important information related to what President Trump enacted by his executive order during his first term is related to the quantum financial system. It's a specific agency called the National Institute of Standards and Technology. It's under the Department of Commerce. The National Institute of Standards and Technology, again, a part of the quantum financial system rule and executive order that President Trump enacted. They're going to be holding an open meeting in person and virtually on October the 10th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The primary purpose of this meeting is for the committee to report working group findings, identify actionable recommendations, and receive public briefings. The briefings are from outside subject matter experts to the full committee in areas such as industry, nonprofit organizations, and scientific community, the defense and law enforcement communities as well, and their appropriate organizations. The Department of Commerce has policies and procedures for foreign currency transactions. Ladies and gentlemen, pay attention. And the National Institute of Standards and Technology, the agency under the executive order of President Trump from his first term in implementing the quantum financial system, the National Institute of Standards and Technology works to ensure compliance with international standards for foreign currency transactions. Again, this meeting is on October the 10th. And the findings and final rules, ladies and gentlemen, will be registered into the Federal Register and go into law for the new standards for foreign currency transactions that will be monitored by the National Institute of Standards and Technology. And it announces also that the National Artificial Intelligence Advisory Committee is the one who will be holding this meeting. So think, artificial intelligence is what will assure accurate currency exchange values as we exchange our currencies in the quantum financial system. Artificial intelligence will assure there's no human manipulation involved in our exchanges and transactions because there will be no human involvement. It will be all technology. The technology that is governed and under the rule of the law and executive order that was implemented by President Trump during his first term. No coincidence. This is happening on October the 10th, Thursday, and will eventually be recorded in the Federal Register and made law. Just think, why now, all of a sudden, the new standards being implemented for artificial intelligence related to foreign currency transactions by way of the executive order of the Commander-in-Chief, President Trump. Folks, we love you. We appreciate you. Be kind, be well, stay grounded, and please be in unconditional love to the best that you can. Hello, beautiful people. This is Freedom Fighter. Thank you for tuning into our channel, Goldilocks Global Banking News. Everybody knows that Goldilocks is the #1 source for the RVGCR. People from around the world tune in to see what Goldilocks is sharing on the RVGCR. Don't miss your chance and get your latest updates every day. So like, share, and subscribe to this channel to get your daily podcast from the Goldilocks articles on the RVGCR. Brought to you by Freedom Fighter.